Hi. So I've been tagged by Toxic Tears to do the 50 random facts about me tag. And I think it's a nice idea to do anyway because, you know, it's always nice to get to know each other a bit better. So 50 random facts about me. Let's not dilly-dally, let's get right onto it. I've been into vampires and the supernatural since before I could read. Supernatural was the first big word I ever learned. Actually, when I was a little kid, I thought that I had invented vampires. When I lived in Scotland, people used to have a go at me on the streets all the time. So oftentimes when someone would start talking to me just anyway, I would think they were having a go at me. And there was this one time, this guy came up to me and he was like, "Hey, you like goth music?" And I was like, "No," just because I felt like being contrary. And he was like, "Do you like the Sisters of Mercy?" And I was like, "Nah, they're shit." And he was like, "Oh, that's a shame, I'm the bassist." And I was like, "Oh, well, lol, sorry, I was only joking." And then he was like, "Yeah, my side project band is like playing at a gig tonight, you know, you should come, you can come for free, come hang out." And I was like, "Cool, thanks." I didn't go. Yeah, I'm probably a dick, whatever. Shh, don't tell anyone. I spent at least a year living alone in a van in the middle of nowhere, being a misanthropic hermit. It was actually really nice, but I wouldn't do it again. One night I was bored, so I got ordained online. I was once in 3 foreign newspapers within a week. For no reason. I enjoy Celtic folk music. I'm actually unbelievably shy, but I just pretend not to be. An unexplained obsession for steam trains. I just love steam train. I love traction engines. I like to look at them. I have a cataract in my right eye and a mysterious condition in the left. I was a competitive figure ice skater for 10 years. There is no feeling in much of my right leg because I fell 10 feet from the top of a cherry tree. I used to have 9 cats. Count them. 9 cats. I've been asked to feature in several TV shows, including Snog, Marry, Avoid, and I turned them all down except one. I am in an episode of Ghost Hunting with Boyzone. Many years ago now, I spent a year looking like this. I got my first tape camera in 1998 and I used to edit my videos together very cleverly, I thought, with a VCR and a system of AV cords. I don't play video games. I kinda like The Sims though. And you know, I like board games. It's basically the same thing, isn't it? My list of phobias is laughably long. I spent every day of 5 years writing a book, and then I showed it to no one. Growing up, I had a black and white TV, a rotary dial phone, a typewriter, and no computer. So vintage. I briefly owned a black 1955 Morris Minor, this sort of affair. It was the hardest thing to drive ever. Even Top Gear thinks so. Nihongo ga skoshi hanasemasu. Je parle un peu de français. And I started learning Scottish Gaelic, but I've forgotten just about all of it because it's extremely difficult. I cannot do maths. At all. I learned all my times tables with songs, and if I can't remember the song, I can't remember the times table. I have a freakishly good sense of smell. It's like a really useless superpower. I can, or at least I used to be able to convincingly do a bunch of different accents. I would demonstrate for you, but you know, there's that shyness thing again. Maybe I'll do another video or something where I do that. Maybe. We'll see. I was befriended and semi-adopted by the world's most pierced woman. She wanted me to live with her, but she hated my then boyfriend and I couldn't afford the rent for myself. I can pip. I nearly got killed by a whale. Twice. On the same day. I once earned the title of bunny boiler by actually boiling bunny heads. The smell made me throw up. It's a long story, and a really gross story, and involves hats. And speaking of hats, I used to make hats. Like this one. Ooh. I used to drink so much tea that I had to visit the doctor for palpitations. My resume contains paranormal investigation, chainsawing, and cake decoration. I actually wear glasses. All the time. I want to get contacts though as soon as I can afford them. In other videos you might see me holding these. But like I can't see further than a foot, so when I'm making videos I can't see what I'm doing. I've been playing drums for years and I'm still shit at it. But I taught myself to play piano recently. Having bare legs makes me feel really uncomfortable and naked. I detest cucumbers, capsicums and onions. I've been to Transylvania and Bohemia. I once got a tweet from Farouza Bulk. Highlight of my Twitter life. I'm qualified in film and television production. I usually do art department and I have a whole 1 entry on IMDb page. I have never sat on Santa's knee because my mummy taught me never to talk to strangers. I've been pierced 17 times. I can do this. I love my head being patted, and I make my boyfriend pat my head all the time. As a child, I had really intense, hallucination-filled night terrors. Every year at school, we had a lip sync contest, and the highlight of my school life was in third form when I got some friends together to do a lip sync to This Is Halloween. Nobody clapped. It was really awkward. But I won a prize for like creativity or something. And thereafter was known as the Queen of Halloween, and it wasn't really meant to be a compliment, I don't think. I'm duck-footed and knock-kneed. It's better now, but my walk has always been more of a penguinish waddle. I dreamed that Ginger Spice left the Spice Girls 2 weeks before she did. I like learning poems off by heart, particularly really gloomy ones. Let the bell toll, a saintly soul floats on the Stygian river. I used to collect those wee stickers that you get on fruit, and I had like hundreds of them. I used to be a total pro at origami. Like, I could make really complicated origami. I'm not good at much. Alright, you guys. I think that's 50, and I think that's probably enough random information about me. So random. Do you ever do that thing where like you make an inside joke, but you're the only one who gets it? Because it's an inside joke and there's no one else in the room or no one else listening who gets it, but you know it's funny. To the outside world, to everyone listening, they just think you're being strange. And yeah, I think I just did that. So random. Righto, now it's time to tag some people. So I'm tagging to do this as well. And you are sort of now contractually bound by the unwritten laws of the internet to do it. I tag Sarah Darlene. I tag Alison. Kaz loves bats. I don't think I've seen you do a tag before. Maybe it's about time. And Victor Morgor. And you know, anyone else who wants to do it, who feels like they would like to share 50 random interesting things about themselves, you know, go nuts, do it. I encourage this sort of carry on. Well, thank you, lovely people. Thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I put out 2 new videos every week on like days. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.